Mr. Chairman, they said the voice of the people is the voice of God. Those of us who spoke from this angle are representatives of the political parties that participated in this election. And it is only responsible for INEC to listen to us. When you made your presentation earlier, you made it look as if agents are just here to rubber stamp whatever the returning officers are presenting. Because you said you passed that stage, it's at the stage of ward polling units. But the provisions of Section 65 have already mandated you, because you are also a returning officer in this election. It's just the difference is that they are returning officers from the states and you are returning results for the presidential election. And the provision of Section 65 is very, very unambiguous and is clear. And it is that you have the power and capacity to review results here. And you cannot review results if there are no agitation of infractions from the political parties. And that is what we are saying. That we cannot move forward except the law is respected, except the promise you made to Nigerians. I have just done a little research. You have promised Nigerians 68 times that beavers will work. And my brother, Barrister Festus Okoye, after I checked using Google machine, I promised Nigeria 118 times that beavers will work. We want to see it work and working by going to the portal to see all these results. It worked in Edo, it worked in Osun, it must work in this presidential election. We cannot proceed with computation or collation of results when we cannot see. The confidence we have in this electoral act is the introduction of the electronic transmission of results. If that is not done, then there is no difference between what we are doing now and what we did in 2015, because what you are doing is practical manual collation. That means the billions of taxpayers' money, including mine, that was spent on the issue of beavers and transmission of electronic results is wasted. And we should not be wasters. We want a categorical response on this issue of uploading results. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Nze Frank White. I represent the APP. Mr. Chairman, last Saturday, Nigerians trooped out in their mass, in millions, because of the confidence that the electronic transmission of results put in them. They came out and, it was so massive that so many of them left what they're supposed to do. Those days of playing football in the streets were not seen on Saturday. Mr. Chairman, the integrity of this process will stand undermined if the electronic transmission that my colleagues here have requested is not guaranteed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First, I will seek a clarification. Do we speak as individuals or we speak for the parties? A situation where two persons are speaking on behalf of a party. I speak for APC, and I would not think, after I've spoken for APC, my colleague should also get up to say he's also speaking for APC. We are not, in my opinion, in a debate. I will also correct the impression when it was said that the political parties are in unison. We are not in unison with, excuse me, Mr. Senator Melaye and Right Honorable, with with all respect, kindly let me speak. We are not in unison with them. A lot of law has been procured, preferred, and quoted here. Most especially Section 65. Which says the Commission shall have the powers. These powers have been conferred on the Commission by statute. And it is the discretion of the Commission to exercise its powers as it deems fit, and not whether we demand it or we want to proclaim or dictate it. Secondly, sir, the same section has gone further, that a decision of the returning officer under subsection 1 may be reviewed by an election tribunal. And I think if we are not satisfied, like has been rightly said, the whole world is watching this process. We should let the process run its course. Like has been rightly observed, there were elections in other places, some of which have been contested in the courts. Why is this being made to be different? Let the results be presented. And just to add, that the provision of Section 60, subsection 4, that is now being misrepresented here, says upload from polling units. But we are not here to debate whether it was uploaded or not. That cannot be reviewed here. So my appeal is for the Commission to proceed with its constitutional duty and make the results available. If we are not satisfied, we will approach the election tribunal. And that is all we are praying for. Like we said, the whole world is watching us. I appeal, sir, Mr. Chairman, that you proceed and do the needful and exercise the powers conferred on you by both the Constitution and the Electoral Act, and let us have the results so we can take necessary steps as we may deem fit. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, any more?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. My name is Zafanaya Gisalo. I represent NRM. Mr. Chairman, I've been in the Parliament to also make the law and also make the Electoral Act. Like my senior colleague said, Emeka Edoha. there. The art is there. And just like the Section 65 have said, the power is given to the INEC to conduct its election. And election process had been laid down from the polling unit, which all of us went round to vote. And then after they are counted, the beavers were there to know the number of people, the agents were there, now the collation to the ward collection center. Everything was tight. The agents were there to see what all was done at the polling unit. And from there, the process is also there to go to the local government headquarters. This thing were done, and then subsequently move to the ward, move to the state. And in the state level, all these things were checked. And I don't think there was any problem. Other, all these things have been addressed right from there. Coming here to talk on this issue, we are contrary to some of the agents that are saying whatever they mean, we should not derail this transition. We should not derail to deceive Nigerians on what is happening. What has come here is the right thing that has been done.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Clement Ojukwu. I represent Labour Party. Sir, this is democracy, and we have spoken on behalf of our people. As you have promised Nigerians before today that our votes are going to count. In addition to that, you told us, or you told Nigerians, that our result will be transmitted electronically. It is not too much to demand of you to fulfill your promises. Again, remind those that is telling you of your supreme powers. Tell them you are not a military officer, but you are a leader of democracy in this country. Please kindly do the needful by telling the collation officers from the state to first tell us how these results were transmitted before now. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman, please.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Bame Vidieno, the agent for Young Progressives Party, YPP. I don't want to be seen to be taking sides on the side of anybody, but on the side of the law. I want to state that this is a fifth level of collation. The first was at the polling unit, then at the ward collation center, the local government collation center, then the state collation center, before coming to this collation center, which is the fifth. And I think if there was any issue that should have been raised concerning transmission of results or whatever, they would have been tackled at those stages by our agents, which we had at all the various levels. I think what we are doing here is not in tandem with what ought to be done. I think that this process should be allowed to go, since we couldn't tackle whatever problems, issues we had at the earlier levels. Then if this process is concluded, we have the election petition tribunals that could handle whatever problems that are being raised here. I think the INEC at this stage now should be allowed to go on with the collation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Chairman, can I make a quick remark?
Jack,
Chairman, please.
this is...
No, I know I'm not a politician and I don't intend to be one. But we all have a stake and we all have a voice. let me appeal to our politicians, respected individuals, to please calm down. The soul of this nation is in this hall today. And any individual that inflames this nation and create chaos, history will not forgive you. I appeal to you all. Every one of you have a very important point, and you have laid it out. Please, I don't also think in the Electoral Act that politicians have a right to stop this process. I don't like what has happened as an individual, but let's respect the law and let the law take its course. And you have every right to challenge the outcome. Please, my brother Dino and everybody, Mecca, please, on behalf of the entire nation, we are please asking you please to calm down. Let us have this process, and then we, civil society, will back you and challenge whatever it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have heard everything that you have said, but I'm going to comment on 3 issues. The first one, which was the starting point of all this lengthy conversation, is over the allegation of overvoting in the result presented yesterday from Ekiti State. What is overvoting? Where the total number of votes cast is higher than the number of accredited voters. Based on the original of the document signed by party agents at state level and the spreadsheet before me, there was no overvoting in Ekiti State. The total number of accredited voters is 315,058. That is what is on the authentic document. Any other figure that shows anything at variance with this did not emanate from the Commission. We provided a detailed breakdown of the scores by political parties across the board. Towards the end of the spreadsheet, we provided 3 columns. The first column is total valid votes, and that is 308,171. Total rejected votes, 6,301. Total votes cast, valid or rejected, is 314,472, which is actually lower than 315,058. Let me recap. Total number of accredited voters, 315,058. Total votes cast, both valid and invalid, is 314,472. There is no overvoting. When you compare the total number of votes cast and the number of accredited voters, if there is anything, you may actually say that there was undervoting, not overvoting. So that is my response to the first issue raised. And I repeat myself once again for clarity. If there is any figure different from what I have presented and what came from the manual forms completed by the State Collation Officer for the presidential election from Ekiti State, please discountenance that figure. It did not emanate from the Commission. I saw some postings on the social media to the effect that the Ekiti election result was published on the 20th of February, 5 days ahead of the election. And what is the evidence? They took the result presented yesterday and took the total number of registered voters for Ekiti State and concluded that the results were prepared several days before the election. All Nigerians will bear me witness that here in this hall, we presented the hard copies of the total number of registered voters in Nigeria on state-by-state basis and the number of PVCs collected. And that information, as we speak, is on the Commission's website. So if anybody is trying to be clever by half, by taking figures from somewhere and saying, oh, these results were published or released ahead of the election, that one can only pass for fake news. And I'm sure that we are responsible citizens not to fall for fake news. So my first response is that for the election results presented for Ekiti, there was no overvoting. Overvoting means the total number of votes cast is higher than the number of accredited voters. The number of accredited voters is in this particular case higher than the total number of votes cast. So that's my first response. My second response is, are the figures consistent from what transpired at the polling units and what was uploaded or ought to have been uploaded to the IRF portal? I am satisfied that the figures on this spreadsheet emanated from the process that transpired at the polling units. The polling units are the only places where citizens vote. Whatever you do thereafter is just collation of result. And we have provided the votes scored by each political party. However, if any political party believes that the figures they have from the hard copies of the results given by their polling agents at the level of collation, that the figures are inconsistent with what has been provided on the spreadsheet that we projected yesterday, I would like that political party to forward the information to the Commission so that we can speak on the basis of facts. I like the suggestion made that the Commission has power under the Electoral Act to review results, but that power is contingent upon one procedure. The process has to be concluded first before you can then talk about power to review. I want to assure political parties that any evidence that you have of any alleged wrongdoing at any level of the process, whether it's at the polling unit or at collation level, please forward this information. And I promise you, as soon as the process is concluded, we'll then do the review as provided by law. On this note, I beg you for us to proceed with the process. Thank you very much. Okay. Now that we have established calm, we can calmly proceed with the process and conclude in the best interests of our country. So may I invite the resident electoral commissioner for Ogun State, to present, to introduce himself, and for the State Collation Officer for the presidential election from Ogun State to similarly introduce himself and present the result from Ogun State. The Resident Electoral Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Olani Ijalayi. I am the Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC in Ogun State.
Thank you very much, distinguished Chairman of INEC. My name is Professor Kayode Adebowale, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, and I'm the State Coalition Officer for the presidential election scope of the 25th of February, 2023 in Ogun State. The result for the presidential election held on the 25th of February, 2023 in Ogun State are as follows. Total number of registered voters. Total number of registered voters. 2,688,305. 2,688,305. Total number of accredited voters, 612,341. 612,341. The total number of votes received by the presidential candidate of each of the political parties are as follows. Party A. Party A, 1153. AA. AA, 331. 331. AAC. AAC, 923. 923. ADC. ADC, 10529. 10529. ADP. ADP, 1734. 1734. APC. APC, 341554. 341554. APGA, APGA. APGA, APGA, 934. 934. APM. APM, 6012. 6012. APP. APP, 326. 326. BP. BP, 374. 374. LP 85829. 85829. NNPP 2200. 2200. NRM 542. 542. PDP 1 2 3 8 3 1. 1 2 3 8 3 1. PRP 356. 356. SDP 738. 738. YPP 366. 366. ZLP 2392. Total number of valid votes. Total number of valid votes. 580,124. 580,124. Total number of rejected votes. Total number of rejected votes. 31324. 31324. Total vote cast. Total votes cast. 611,448. 611,448. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Prof. and Scope for Ogun State. Were there places where election was not held or the outcome of the election cancelled?
There were places where we have cancellation. They have been compiled. The respective forms, which is EC 40G, was filled. During the state collation exercise yesterday, they were all displayed. And the reasons for the cancellation ranges from overvoting. There are some that voters refuse to use the BVAS. And also there are some that was disruption, which probably some thugs came, but they did not cut away with any election material in any of our polling stations throughout Ogun State.
Okay, thank you very much. Party agents, any comments or observations to the scope? Okay, please submit your result.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Scope. And the original handwritten completed from ECAD has been duly countersigned by agents of political parties present during state collation in Abeokuta. Thank you. Thank you, BC. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right. Thank you very much. And I wish you a safe journey. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Collation Secretariat, which state is next? Oyo, where is Ramon Taylor, the resident electoral commissioner? Oyo? Okay. No, Oyo is there, and there is another state also in the holding area. So are you ready, Oyo? Okay, please come forward along with the state collation officer. Sir Rek, please introduce yourself, and the scope should introduce himself and present the results for Oyo State.
My name is Dr. Taylor Adiniran Abdurrahman, the resident electoral commissioner of Oyo State.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I am Professor Olushola Babatunde Kehinde, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, and the State Collation Officer for the presidential election in Oyo State. Thank you, sir. For the presidential election that held on the 25th of February, 2023, we have the following as the results of the election. 1, the total number of registered voters in Oyo State. Total number of registered voters, 3276,675. 3276,675. Total number of accredited voters, 854,439. 854,439. The total number of votes received by the presidential candidate of each of the political parties are as follows. Party A, 39514. 39514. Party AA, 1124. 1124. Party AAC, 1153. 1153.
Hello?
ADC, 6080. ADC, 6080. ADP, 2298. 2298. APC 449884, 449884. APGA 1368, 1368. APM 462, 462. APP 1985, 1985. BP 363. LP 99110, 99110. NNPP 4095, 4095. NRM 659, 659. PDP 182977, 182977. PRP 433, 433. SDP 14517, 14517. YPP 572, 572. ZLP 2891, 2891. Total valid votes 809485, 809485. Rejected votes 42471, 42471. Total votes cast, total votes cast 851956, 851956. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Scope. Were there places where elections did not hold or cancelled?
Yes, sir. Elections were cancelled in 17 polling units in 14 registration areas.
Reason?
Overvoting, sir. And the total number of cancelled votes were 7363. 7363.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments, observations, suggestions? Okay, thank you very much. Please step forward to present your result. Okay, thank you very much. Next, we move to Yobe State. Is the REC and the State Collation Officer around? Is the REC as well as the scope? Okay.
My name is Ibrahim Abdullahi, the resident electoral commissioner, Yobe State.
My name is Professor Umaru A. Pate, Vice Chancellor of the Federal University Kashere in Gombe State. I am the State Collation Officer for the presidential election of 25 February 2023 in Yobe State. With me is Ibrahim Abdullahi, the resident electoral commissioner for Yobe State. The result for the presidential election held on 25th February 2023 in Yobe State are as follows. Total number of registered voters, 148,546. Total number of registered voters, 148,546. Total number of accredited voters, 398874. Total number of accredited voters, 398874. Total number of votes received by the presidential candidate of each of the political parties as follows. A party, 312. A party, 312. AA, 915. AA, 915. AAC, 221. AAC, 221. ADC, 1034. ADC, 1034. ADP, 1295. ADP, 1295. APC, 15145. APC, 15145. 959. Am I correct? Okay. 151459. ABGA, 875. ABGA, 875. APM, 472. APM, 472. APP, 256. APP, 256. BP, 149. BP, 149. LP, 2406. LP 2406. NNPP 18270. NNPP 18270. NRM 672. NRM 672. PDP 198567. PDP 198567. PRP 265. PRP 265. SDP 192. SDP 192. YPP 630. YPP 630. ZLP 407. ZLP 407. Total number of valid votes 378397. Total number of valid votes 378397. Total number of rejected votes 18934. 18934. Total votes cast 397331. Total votes cast 397331. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any polling units where elections were not held or cancelled?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. 1 in Fika. We had one of the polling booths with about 768 voters registered, and total number of PVCs collected 768, but because of faulty BVA, they couldn't vote. Then we also had Jakusko with LG code 04, one polling unit also affected with about 1073 voters. There was destruction of polling materials, and because of that, it was cancelled. The reports are attached to the submission here, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments, any observation? Okay, please step forward to submit your result. I understand that Enugu State will be ready in the next 10 minutes. So we wait for the next 10 minutes to take Enugu. I also understand that Lagos and Gombe approaching the building. Thank you. So 10 minutes, we'll take Enugu State.
So they've got 10 minutes break, after which they'll return, and I think they said they'll go to Enugu State. But a couple of states have been declared here today: Oyo, Ogun, Yobe, and counting. So the APC clinching Oyo, Ogun, and the PDP clinching Yobe State. So more results expected after all the drama that we saw that went on earlier before these latest results were declared. So we also did see a number of party agents who stormed out of that collation center, the National Collation Center. So interesting scenario. They are up in arms after all that argument about the propriety, the legality of the process, whether or not they were going to continue, citing several provisions of the Electoral Act. And goodness, and here we are now. But Mr. Uzi, what's your impression of what's played out so far?
Well, there's a debate as to whether what is going on now is in accordance with the Electoral Act and whether it's in accordance with the INEC regulations and guidelines. My only challenge about the position of the political parties is that they have not come to say that the results being announced are not in conformity with the scores or the total number of accredited voters as they observed in the lower levels of collation. They are not challenging the scores. They are challenging the process and the procedure. They are challenging the fact that INEC guidance provides for a comparison being made with the results as exhibited, as displayed in the IREF portal. And it's a choice between let us follow the process as outlined, the architecture as outlined in the Electoral Act and in the INEC guidelines, or let us ensure that we speedily dispose of this result collation process. So it will appear to me the INEC has chosen the latter. We would rather than wait for the IREF portal to be up and running and display all the results. Nobody knows how long that will take. The statement yesterday said they were in this process of resolving all the issues. I think there's still one or two challenges. So it depends on which you think should follow. Are you a process person, technical process person, or Nigerians are interested in timelessly getting to hear who the next president, what are the scores?
So just to put it out there,
okay.
Those are PDP, LP, APP, SDP, and ADC.
Walked out.
The parties who walked out.
So, but is that not opening up INEC to litigation? I mean, the fact that there's a law that provides procedural guidelines, and you even had a guideline that sort of enhances the act. Is that not opening yourself up to litigation, seeing that you're going contrary to what you put out as a procedure?
Well, either course of action will open INEC to litigation, and especially in electoral matters, we are a litigious community. Don't forget that there are over 700 cases dealing with party primaries, intra-party affairs.
As we speak.
INEC is joined as a necessary defendant, but it's not primary elections conducted by INEC, even conducted by the political parties themselves. That's the level of disputation that we have within the parties. So yes, definitely, I think your question was more the likelihood of success of those challenges.
Okay.
But Ambassador...
All right, gentlemen, pardon me.
Okay.
We need to just bring you the walkout, and then after they walked out, they spoke to the press behind this collation center. So we caught up with some of them after they made their points. Now, have a listen.
Now that we have established calm, we can calmly proceed with the process and conclude in the...
We party agents haven't observed that the national chairman of INEC is determined to rig the election by making sure that results are not uploaded, by vehemently making a presentation that makes it look as if we are all here to rubber stamp the fraud that has been cooked between INEC and APC. We are saying that we are not here to rubber stamp the electoral fraud that have been prepared by INEC and APC. We are Nigerians, and we all know that there is nowhere on the server that results have been uploaded. It's now saying we should wait for the process to be completed. All the political parties here staged a walkout to express the unfortunate politicization and commercialization of our electoral process.
How many of the parties have staged a walkout?
We are about 9, 10 of us here, understand? And we are saying that INEC is compromised, APC have influenced INEC, and we can see results are being changed. We have records of where elections did not take place and results have been prepared. We have records of where the beavers were not used and results have been pronounced. What is difficult in the INEC chairman showing the uploaded results so that we can compare and interrogate that with the presentation that is made by the state returning officers. But they cannot upload results. They cannot show us uploaded results because they know that what they are going to upload will be at variance with what they are presenting to Nigerians. So the electoral process has been rigged. INEC have rigged the 2023 elections, and we are completely dissociating ourselves from it, and we know what to do next.
How many parties staged a walkout this afternoon?
Well, we are about 10 political parties that have actively participated in the election.
So are you saying that you would no longer, your party, the Labour Party, will no longer participate in this election?
We have already participated in the election.
Or in the collation process?
The only thing we are challenging the process in which they are declaring the results. You understand? They have promised us that they are going to use beavers. Beavers are used, but the result of the beavers have not been uploaded. What they are giving us now are doctor results, they are fake results, and that is why we do not accept it. And we have called on the INEC chairman. If he did not agree and did not accept what we are telling you, how shall we accept what he is telling us? It's a result that we have a complaint from our agent. We have seen it. Everybody have seen it. We have seen where infractions have been happening, and we have seen where doctor results have been submitted. Our agent have reported to us. This is what we are not. That is what they are telling us here. So, and he wants us to just rubber stamp what they are telling us, and then as APC have suggested that we should meet in court, and that is what is succumbing to it.
So what next? So what next for your party? What next?
Well, the next thing is we have done what we are doing now, and then we are going to take the instruction from our masters.
All right, so some of the political party agents that staged a walkout at that National Collation Center, they're taking a break now. But Abosede, what's going through your mind?
So, I mean, the first thing I did is I went to the IREF portal and I'm just looking at, you know, obviously how far do we have to go? And it shows that 62,736 results have now been uploaded. But as you know, there are 176 and about 606 polling units. And so technically, we're still around 40%, right? So I think there are two things here. You know, the political parties that walked out were very clear about what they would prefer. And what they're saying is adjourn this process, okay? Now, I think that it's important to highlight that the cost of that to Nigerians is that they need to wait, right? But we started this conversation by saying, wow, it's been 48 hours. And we just don't know. We're not in position to say how long it would take for INEC to upload those results such that when the scope comes and is announcing, they can display it for us. So it's a valid ask, definitely, and I think in line with the Electoral Act that, you know, the part of the Electoral Act and the guidelines that have already been stated, it is a valid ask. However, I think it's important to understand what is at stake, you know, if we were to go in that direction.
Prof, we'll come back to you in a minute, but just quickly go to this APC's press release. The Tinubu to Lagosians, he did ask that they become and maintain peace. So he did say, all Progressives Congress, the presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu appeals to Lagos State, people in Lagos State to be calm and eschew any act that can lead to breakdown of law and order. He said the outcome of the election in Lagos, where Labour Party won the presidential election, should not be a source of provocation, saying that the beauty of democracy is that people have a right to vote for the candidates of their choice. Okay, so we can go ahead and listen to some of them.
We have credible information from my colleagues at the bar. They have consulted some of my colleagues at the inner bar, senior advocates like me, who they have told to shop to go and prepare court papers and proceed to court. I want to appeal to the judiciary to remember the famous or the infamous Justice Ikpeme of June 12th. We should not have a replay of the situation of Justice Ikpeme and what happened to her and what happened to her thereafter. That is my appeal to the judiciary, which is still my primary constituency. Please, please, and please, they should not scuttle democracy. If they think that INEC has subverted the provisions of the law in releasing the results, we will meet them anywhere in court, because we say that there is no such provision legally binding on INEC, and that overrides provision of both the Constitution and the Electoral Act that says that results must be uploaded before they are declared. What the law still recognizes is the manual step-by-step collation until the announcement of the results at the National Collation Center as provided for by law. There is nothing, and let me tell you this. I want you to simply ask the PDP. It's not good. I mean, for the LP, they have called for the cancellation of the results. Fair, well and good. We'll meet them anyway. But for the PDP, I want you to ask a critical question to all these drama kings you are seeing up and down, making noise without substance. Have you picked up a particular result from a particular state and compared it with the ones your agent submitted? And tell the world which unit has been altered, which ward result has been altered, which state result has. Tell the world.
All right, so there you go. The All Progressives Congress also giving their press conference concerning what they've seen going on, reactions to the PDP, Labour Party, SDP, APP, the agents and their parties who staged a walkout and calling for cancellation, or they're not believing in the entire process. Well, Prof, you've heard what's going on now. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think it's patently very risky for INEC to put on hold the process of announcement of the results. It immediately declared that INEC has admitted that it's lost in crisis. And I think that's what should not be done. Okay.
By the way, Labour Party also had their briefing. Just ended moments ago, as a matter of fact. So they're all having these briefings going all over the place, and pressmen will have to make sure we catch snippets, if not the entire thing. So that also went on, and I think subsequently we will... Okay, here it is, by the way.
Leaders repeated this promise multiple times. Challenging.
Okay, so that is Labour Party's Akin Oshuntogun. Okay, so he's clearly stating their party's position, but previously I think they had also spoken about how they do not believe in the process previously, before today. So this is an addition to what they said previously. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that the position of the chairman of INEC is reasonable, but that means the case has not been closed, because as he himself admitted, once the announcement process is concluded, then the possibility of review can then be activated. Now, but what the political parties are saying is very important for us to note. The first is that they have discovered some discrepancies between what has been announced at the local government level as the result of the state and what they have from their party agents. That's the first point. Then secondly, they said by not uploading the results for access, the argument or their fear is that INEC is not confident that what is going to be uploaded corresponds to what actually happened at the polling unit. They may be wrong, they may also be right. But the important point is really this, that when you look at the local government figures, you can't compare those figures with the polling unit figures that the political parties are talking about. That's why that IREV portal is so important for the purposes of transparency.
Okay, Prof, just for clarity, now those images you see, this press conference by Labour are the initial images that we do have, but we will bring you what they actually said in the press conference. So just stay with us, we'll bring you that one. Conclude your thoughts.
So, which makes it very difficult to argue that the parties do not have any ground for the complaints that they are making. I think what they are trying to do is to establish an environment where it will be clearly established that they have protested the results. Because they are now going to go a step further to put all the documents that they have together and begin to get ready for that review. And if that doesn't happen, of course, to get ready for litigation.
So let me ask this question. Abosede, maybe you come in here. Why go down a wrong, well, not a wrong road, a tedious road? Why go down a tedious road when you can stop and make amends? I mean, going by the guidelines that INEC, and I asked this question earlier, Mr. Ozzy also attempted to answer that question. You have the law. You put out a guideline for yourself and for every other person. And in the course of executing your assignment, you are reminded, this is what you said. Can you stop, correct yourself, and then we continue? And that becomes too difficult?
So I think you're looking at it, as an isolated case. Everything that you have said is correct. However, given what is currently happening, the stakes are too high for the INEC chairman to pause this process. It's going to feel like 72 hours, the next 10 hours or 12 hours before they resume at 11 a.m. again tomorrow. It's going to feel like 24 hours. So the INEC chairman, as the returning officer for the presidential election, has made a call, right? Whether this is the best call at this time, I mean, we can argue about that. Okay. I would say it is, giving what is at stake. Because ultimately, I think in the midst of all of this, the most important people are those people who went out to vote.
Yeah, Ms. Uzi, I'm wondering. Okay, sorry, you want to?
You see, it's very tempting to say, put it on hold. I mean, if you just create an image of June 12th, that the elections were going on, at the point of announcement of result, you suspend the process.
Okay, a couple of things from that. Yeah. Now, Ms. Uzi, did INEC play into their hands, on the one hand? And secondly, I'm also wondering, having been experienced, not the first election for the chairman, perhaps could he have, with the benefit of hindsight, just say, well, I think I might have an idea where this is headed. If they were asking, Mr. Chairman, you have the powers, could you let the returning officers just corroborate and say what we are announcing is in line with what is on the portal or what has been uploaded, and tell us whether it's been uploaded or not? So should he have made a call at that point?
First of all, whether INEC has played into their hands, I think we should fall back to the INEC statement of yesterday, that they intended to comply with this. They intended to go ahead as required in the regulations, but for certain reasons, these things have not come online. They've not come up on the portal. So I don't think from the explanation, I don't think they had a choice. But now is the call he has made. Do you proceed to start collation even without rectifying whatever challenges or issues you have with the portal, or you'll do what you're doing now? Each individual can make up their minds about that.
Okay.
I wanted to quickly take you up on Section 65, which is something that has been quoted quite copiously by some of the agents, and they kept on talking about it. They talk about, and Section 65 talks about the decision of returning officer on ballot paper. I think that's the header you have there. It talks about the decision of the returning officer shall be final on any question arising from or relating to A, an unmarked ballot paper, B, rejected ballot paper, and C, declaration of scores of candidates and return of a candidate. That is what Section 65 says. And then it also says, provided that the Commission shall have the power within 7 days to review the declaration and return where the Commission determines that the said declaration and return was not made voluntarily or was made contrary to the provisions of the law, regulations, and guidelines and manual for the election. Correct. That is, you know, it looks like it's referring largely to the presiding officer at the polling unit because it's talking about ballot paper. But right now, we all know that the INEC chairman is a returning officer for the presidential elections. Correct. So precisely what are they asking him to do, referring to Section 65 of this Electoral Act?
I really don't know. I'm not too sure whether the reference to Section 65 is opposite. I'm not sure. But when you say it's talking about presiding officers, yes and no, don't forget that the unit results are the building blocks of everything else. We are here because of the unit results.
Yeah.
So whatever challenges like marking a ballot paper in the unit results is transferred to the next level of question, to ward level. Unfortunately, we're not privy to what happened at the ward level, whether objections were raised or nothing. And they're not referencing that. And also to the local government collation level and the state collation level.
Okay, Mr. Ozzy, sorry,
yes.
if I may come in here.
Yes, please.
Let's, again, go back a bit. Section 64.
Yes.
Says, the presiding officer, Section 64(1), yes, shall endorse the word rejected on the ballot paper, rejected. Yes. Okay, let's go down to, if an objection of the decision of a presiding officer to reject the ballot is raised by a candidate or a polling agent, let's go to 4. A collation officer or returning officer at an election shall collate and announce the result of an election subject to his or her verification and confirmation that the number of accredited voters stated on the collated results are correct and consistent with the number of accredited voters recorded and transmitted directly from the polling unit under Section 472 of this Act. B, the votes stated on the collated results are correct and consistent with the votes or results recorded and transmitted directly. 5, subject to subsection 1, a collation officer or returning officer shall use the number of accredited voters recorded and transmitted directly from the polling unit under Section 472 of this Act, and the votes recorded and transmitted directly from polling units under Section 64 of this Act to collate and announce the result. Please, can you read from your guide there what the transmission there, by INEC's guidelines, what the transmission means?
Yes, it says paragraph 38 of the INEC guidelines. I don't know if your camera can catch this, of INEC guidelines. And it says there that on completion...
Ms. Uzi,
yes,
apologies.
Yes.
ICC, I think as you can see a picture in the box, they've come back. And we'll have to go back there, so apologies. But let's get back to the ICC.
My name is Dr. Chukwemeka Joseph Chukwu, Honorable Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC, Enugu State. Beside me is
I'm Professor Madu ABBC of Foiwe, Vice Chancellor Michael O'Brien, University of Agriculture Mudike, Collation Officer for the presidential election in Enugu State.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. These are the results of the collation we did in Enugu State. The number of registered voters, 2,112,793. 2,112,793. Number of accredited voters, 482,990. 482,990. Votes received by political parties, A 165, 165, AA 77, 77, AAC 128, 128, ADC 282, 282, ADP 200, 200, APC 4772, 4772, APGA 1548, 1548, APM 351, 351, APP 209, 209, BP 504, 504, LP 428 640, 428 640, NNPP 1808, 1808, NRM 414, 414, BDP 15749, 15749, PRP 95, 95, SDP 103, 103, YPP 290, 290, ZLP 1089, 1089. Total valid votes 456 424, 456 424. Rejected votes 12467, 12467. Total votes cast 468 891, 468 891. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Any places where elections did not hold or cancellations?
Yes, Chairman, we had overvoting and disruption in Aninri, Uduma 2, and Ezago, we also had disruption in Imbo, in Ogu. Those are the three areas that were affected.
Okay, total number of registered voters and PVCs collected. Are they all in the 40G?
Yes, they are. We have compiled them.
Okay, any comments, any observation on the Abia result? Enugu result. Okay, thank you very much. Please step forward to present the result. Okay, I understand that Lagos is around. So let's give Lagos a few minutes to cross-check with the Collation Secretariat before presenting the result. So we give Lagos a few minutes.
Have the announcements from the National Collation Center, where Enugu results were just called out from the figures there. Abosade, what do you think?
So, I mean, democracy is, supposed to be government for the people, by the people. This is what is unfolding, right? I think that it's very unique that we're seeing a lot of surprises. But as far as I'm concerned, these positions are no one's inheritance, right? And it is only, one thing that must be clear is that election is a pathway to good governance, right? And so this is an opportunity. If you have been voted out and somebody new has been voted in, this is an opportunity to give governance to the people. It's about the people. And I know that we're currently going through a process that is painful, that people have different opinions about, but I think that the Nigerian people should see it as a win through and through. And that's why I said, whatever it is that we're looking at, even in the process, we must prioritize the Nigerian people. And so the surprises are pleasant, is a pleasant surprise, is a breath of fresh air. And I think it's important for people to know that public office, elective or appointive, is about giving the people good governance. And I think we're seeing it unfold.
Well, they're taking a break right now. I think Lagos is about to do its own announcement of the results, which we also heard from the local, that's the State Collation Center earlier. But perhaps in line with what some of the agents have been raising, the national chairman has asked the resident electoral commissioner to make sure they've cross-checked their figures, and that's why we have this lull right now. I don't know whether this, what exactly would they be cross-checking, Mr. Ozi? Can you let us know?
They might check whether the figures do add up, whether there's overvoting in any particular local government, whether there's overvoting in the whole state constituency. The total number of accredited voters, according to the Beavers, I've read from the Beavers, is equal or less than the total number of valid and invalid votes. The Beavers records all the cards of the people who have come to vote and computes it, adds it up. Whereas if you have you'll compare that with the figure endorsed in the result sheet, ECHC, and also add the total number of valid votes of all the parties and invalid votes and see to whether there's any discrepancy. But I think there's also this issue of the polling unit result transmitted from onto the server. Okay. And the issue is that, to be fair, the chairman at this stage cannot be comparing 178,000 polling unit results. So it is deemed that they should have done so probably at the lowest level, which is the RA collation.
Who should have done so?
The first collation officer. And I think what we want is the assurance that that has been done. If the chairman is satisfied that that was done, which in this case hasn't been done because there are very few, 40% you computed earlier on. As of today, that is about 40% have been as of maybe an hour ago. So these are the kind of things that we...
Okay, so it's too late for the chairman to do that comparison, but...
Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what he's saying. I mean, Mr. Oz, if I get you right, you're saying it's probably too late for the chairman to be comparing notes with what's happening at the polling unit. Is that what you... at this point in time?
Well, what it means, basically, if you take this literally, he's supposed to do that. But you don't expect the chairman to... every collation officer, because it doesn't discriminate. The section you read, section 64.
Yeah.
64.4 does not. Let's just go back to 64.4 as well. A collation officer or returning officer at an election shall collate and announce the result of an election subject to the following. He's a returning officer. He's going to collate the president and return. But so, and don't forget there are 176
polling, 1,000 polling units. Yeah.
1,000 polling units. I don't think the law, if you separate that way, it will lead to an absurdity.
So, is there any implication of that walkout?
No. No. You cannot compel an agent to be represented at a collation center. If they work out, the process can continue. It doesn't invalidate whatever is being done there.
What about on the integrity of the process?
It calls the question. There are two different things: the legality of that, and then the perception. So yes, it could affect the perception. I'm sure there are quite possibly a lot of their supporters. Some will disagree that you shouldn't have worked that day, and some will say, it has diminished. It has diminished the integrity of the process. So many parties, 9, 10, rejected the process, and by implication have rejected the result. If you reject the process, I doubt if they will accept the outcome of that process. So everything that happens diminishes the process. All that we're saying in social media also diminishes the process. Whether it's good, whether it's justified or not, it's a totally different thing.
Prof, what will your assessment be?
Well, I think that there's a serious issue here because if the political parties in their numbers work out, it's a very symbolic behavior which detracts from the legitimacy of the entire process. And I'm very sure that INEC chairman is not taking it lightly. And that's why he's particularly concerned about having any kind of repeat of discrepancy from now on. But more importantly, remember the reason why he's proceeding with the announcement of the results is simply that he says he's satisfied that the required processes have been observed at the lower levels, because he's going to do the collation of these returns that are coming from the state and add them up for the final result. But those who were at the decentralized level are those who are expected to have exercised due diligence. In fact, even the uploading of the results at the polling unit level is also supposed to have been done by the presiding officer at that particular polling unit. So all of these have not clearly, because the uploading is taking so much time, and we still have less than 40% of the results uploaded. It's questionable whether due diligence has been done by those officers.
Ambassador, if I could ask you, I mean, when Makwa did say, the chairman was saying that Lagos should take a moment and cross-check and make sure certain things are done, as a communication person, in context of what had transpired previously, how does that come across? Because, I mean, people internalize these things differently.
Yes.
Wouldn't some say, oh, well, so the chairman is not trying to do the right thing we should have done before, or what?
Really good question. And I think that it's important for us to let Nigerians know what is at stake, right? And I know that as we speak here, there's so many conversations happening, but let's break it down. If it is taking 2 days, 48 hours, to upload 66,000 results for the polling units, we can assume, based on that baseline, so a baseline has already been established, right, that it would take another 3 days, 72 hours, to upload for 176,000 polling units. So, Chamberlain, ask me, if the chairman says now, let's take a break for 3 days, you tell me what's going to happen. And it's important for us to have this conversation so that people know what's at stake, right? So I hear that we want to have this argument about right and wrong, but I think the chairman, as the returning officer, based on what we have read, has made a call, haven't considered everything. And these are the scenarios that we're saying. I mean, we thought the IREV was going to work, didn't we? Nobody could have predicted.
The eyes have it.
Nobody could have predicted that we'd find ourselves here. And I think that that's what it is. So and that's why people run organizations. People are in positions of leadership. And so he has to take responsibility at this point, evaluate everything that's before him, and make a call. And I think that that's the call that he has made, because 3 days of silence, the same people who would go, if we were to vote, that will go in that direction, when we return to the same process where we're now showing those things, we'll say something else.
Well, there's a law at the National Collation Center at the moment. Everyone's waiting for, I think, Lagos State to come up with its results, and they're taking time probably to check out those figures and ensure that they do tally. But we do know that some parties walked out. And
well, I don't think they're going to ask them, is it on IREM?
Well, it wouldn't be a good idea if they actually did. A lot of people would have expected that at the National Collation Center, behind the chairman would be that big screen, whereas they're calling out the numbers or just a flashing. That would have been really
so they're showing it electronically, but you're right. There are people expecting for the actual downloaded picture. It will be a lot.
Quite a number of scenarios that we are currently witnessing right there at the National Collation Center. I mean, some silence there, and you can almost hear it. It was the silence,
golden, huh?
it was the silence of the graveyard while, the collation process is going on. I wanted to quickly just, ask about how it is that we're managing, the expectations of the public. So far, so good. Some of the results that have been declared have already been declared at the state level. So a number of people have already started seeing their results there, and the outcome in some instances have been shocking. In some instances, were almost expected. People, the lawmakers at some level were already beginning to know who they are in the states that have been declared. Some surprises. It looks like quite a number of old faces that we know where the National Assembly are not going to be coming back so far so good. But I am just wondering, at the state level right now, in Lagos, for instance, we've seen statements made by the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress calling for calm there. We've also heard that the governor of the state, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has also released a statement urging calm. What do you think should be going on at the state level right now with the results that have been declared, and also even with the tension that is palpable at the National Collation Center?
First of all, in one sense, what has been declared are provisional results in the presidential election at the state level. They are provisional results. They still have to be brought to Abuja. The chief returning officer, chief electoral commissioner, still has to make may still have to make a call as to, look, I don't accept this part or that part, or I reject what you brought here. You'll go back and conduct supplementary elections because of overvoting, because of this, because of that. So you have to be very careful what is being announced. Rather use that. What is being announced? It's for the return.
That is at the presidential
level. Yes. The returning officer for the other constituencies, Senate and House of Representatives.
Yes.
That is a result subject. Section 65 to make it subject to the decision of the commission that this was in line. First of all, that it was voluntarily made. And that it was in line with the Electoral Act and administratively with the regulations. So if there's any serious protest, I'm not aware, the commission hasn't done an outline of how you can register such protests. It could come from the resident electoral commissioner, and I presume it can come from any of the candidates or their political parties. So for 7 days after that declaration, if after 7 days the commission has not overturned or pronounced in that one, then it is deemed it's now a final result, and you have to go to tribunal to challenge it. So people should be careful about all this. I think I like what is going on now, that they appeal for calm, and people should be reasonable. There are ways of resolving differences and issues. One of the ways is this commission can administratively deal with these provisional results. Otherwise, you will probably have to go to court. But it's important that let the peace accords not be a hollow ritual. Let it not be something that we're not determined or committed to right from time. So I expect the candidates and their parties to do something to calm the situation.
All right, we will do something right now. We'll go to a commercial, and we will be back afterwards.
Become your best self with new and exciting data plans from 9Mobile. Visit www.9mobile.com.ng or any of our 9Mobile Experience Center.
9Mobile. Here for you. Here for Nigeria.